All right, it's time. Let's talk about Bad Bunny and let's see Matt Walsh's reaction to Bad Bunny, okay?
Professional football, in my view, is an important cultural institution in this country. So our focus.
I don't think it's that important. Yeah, it's a spectacle, great, but in the world of look, today we have the most today currently. I'll just talk about America. We have the most diverse amount of entertainment like outlets ever in the history of ever. Okay, we have video games, we have movies, we have television. There's all sorts of different TV shows and options to stream series, limited series, docu-series, movies. There's video games, there's handheld games, there's music, there's instruments you can actually play, there's YouTube content. There are so many things that you can do nowadays. You don't have to just watch sports anymore. I don't really think the NFL is that important anymore. I'll be honest, it's not my favorite thing. And I grew up a massive Patriots fan. I know everything there is to know about the Patriots. Okay, especially the Brady era. Okay, but I don't think it's that big of an institution anymore. It doesn't matter. I won't be watching the Super Bowl. People will, sure, but in this age of just hyper entertainment, we have so many things that we can do now. So they get so upset. My point is this: they get so upset about Bad Bunny being selected as the halftime show. You have to be the most pathetic and boring motherfucker on the planet. You can't find something else to do with your time. You're so upset about a halftime show. You have no other hobbies. Holy shit, Matt.
Therefore, should.
And other conservatives who are really mad, like Tommy Lauren, who literally said on her show that Bad Bunny isn't an American performer. What did Tommy Lauren say about Bad Bunny? Tommy Lauren, Bad Bunny. What did she say about Bad Bunny? What did you say? What did she? Where's the? Oh yeah, she said he's not American. Yeah, he's freaking American.
To be eradicating the left-wing propaganda and anti-white messaging that the league continues to promulgate, as we've eradicated it from so many other cultural institutions in recent years. Well, it's official for the 7th straight year. A white guy will.
Hold on, I just want to say something right now. Okay, hold on. Show me the last. Oh, my computer's freaking out. Last 10 Super Bowl. Here we go. Last 10. Let's look at the last 10. Okay. I want to look at the last 10. Whoa. Okay. Fuck the. I don't care about the 70s. Let's go back to the 2000s. Okay. Performer Phil Collins in 2000, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton. That's a pretty good lineup. Georgia State University a choir. Aerosmith, NSYNC, U2, Shania Twain, no doubt. Janet Jackson, P. Diddy, Nelly, Kid Rock, Justin Timberlake. What the fuck? I remember the Jessica Simpson titty thing, right? No. It wasn't Jessica Simpson. It was Janet Jackson. I forgot about that. Okay, pretty diverse. Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones, white. White. Wow, the Who, white. Mixed, right? I mean, they're pretty mixed. I mean, these two guys are black, but I'm pretty sure Fergie's mixed and the other guy. Okay, Madonna, white. Beyonce, I don't really care. She's awesome. You know what I mean? Bruno Mars, awesome. Katy Perry, white. Coldplay, white. Lady Gaga, white. Justin Timberlake, white. Maroon 5, white. Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, okay, fine. The Weeknd, fine. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. Eminem's white. Rihanna, okay, great. Usher, okay. Kendrick Lamar, Bad Bunny. I'm sorry, but I'm seeing so many white performers who, and by the way, to not have Rihanna, to not have Kendrick Lamar, like they're one of the biggest artists in the world. Why not have them? More people than just white people watch football, so I don't see a problem with this. You're not replacing white people. Maroon 5 doesn't look at that. Lady Gaga. I mean, she was huge. This is 2017.
Will not be headlining the Super Bowl halftime show, unless you count Eminem's brief appearance in the 2022 halftime show with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, which you really shouldn't.
Why not? You should count that. He's a massive star. He's huge. He's bigger than Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. He's way bigger than them.
The last white performers to headline the Super Bowl were Maroon 5 back in 2019. And since then, we've been treated to performances by.
Hold on. Okay. Who cares? Who cares? Because The Weeknd was really, really big in 2021. Massive. He's still big now, but he was huge a few years ago. Huge. Couldn't get away from him. I mean, this is stupid. So stupid. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure they had. Hold on a second. What is this? What is this column? What is this column? Wow. Why is he not including that? Travis Scott, Big Boy. They were also there as well. Why is he not including that? Yeah, I'm so stupid. Because they didn't headline. That's why.
By luminaries like Usher, Kendrick Lamar, Rihanna, The Weeknd, and so on.
Massive.
It's as if the NFL couldn't find a
global
single
icons.
white person singing actual music anywhere in the entire country for the better part of a decade. You don't need to be a calculus professor to understand the statistical implications here.
What?
The NFL has made the deliberate decision to basically discriminate against white performers in the name of diversity.
Why?
It's the same reason that they still insist on having those dumb slogans.
They literally just had Bruce Springsteen. When did they have Springsteen? Katy Perry, Coldplay, Beyonce, Madonna. It seems like it's funny how he didn't care when it was like Black Eyed Peas and Madonna. It's funny how he didn't care when it was like alternate every year, right? They're not discriminating, okay? Kendrick Lamar is one of the biggest names in music currently. Rihanna, biggest name in music currently. The Weeknd, biggest name. This lineup here, massive, massive names.
In the end zone, the league is captured.
I guarantee you, I put $100,000 of this on, okay, right? If they picked Taylor Swift to perform at the halftime, he would be mad about it. She's a white artist, getting married to a white football player. He'd be pissed.
At the corporate level anyway, by anti-white leftists who, unlike the vast majority of the country, haven't progressed beyond the George Floyd era. And as a result, year after year, the Super Bowl halftime performances haven't resembled music so much as they've resembled the barely coherent ramblings of the local strip mall vagrant. Half of what Kendrick Lamar said was incomprehensible in the last Super Bowl halftime show. To the extent that he had a big moment during his performance, it was to accuse another rapper of being a pedophile. So we're talking about,
it's kind of funny how he uses that as like a way to discredit. I couldn't understand anything. I'm white and proper. I can't understand anything that Kendrick Lamar says in his music. First of all, I can understand everything he says. Second of all, Kendrick Lamar, I'm pretty sure won a Pulitzer Prize for one of his albums. I think it wasn't it Damn? Kendrick Lamar Pulitzer Prize. Yeah, he was awarded a Pulitzer Prize, becoming the first non-classical and non-jazz artist to win for an album. I'm sorry, Matt, since you're so proper and you have a better grasp on the English language because you're white, where's your Pulitzer Prize? Can you find that for me? Can you look in your wherever you hide your awards? None of your you have literally have no awards, by the way, none. You're a YouTube commentator, a far right commentator. That's really all you do. This guy won a goddamn Pulitzer Prize. I think that's pretty impressive. Oh, I can't understand him because it's strip mall vagrant nonsense. Because I'm Matt Walsh and I'm white, and white people are the master race. I mean, he's one bad take away from literally giving the Sig Heil.
Real fine art here. With each passing year, the performances become even more painful.
I'm gonna look at not like performance song, not like us lyrics. I think it's fine art. I think it's pretty creative. Okay. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. I think it's pretty good, honestly. I think it's pretty clever because he believes in God, so he's gonna beat your ass and hide the Bible because God's watching. I think it's pretty awesome, honestly. They tell me Chubb's the only one that got your hand-me-downs. That's a reference to Happy Gilmore. This guy, I mean, this isn't vagrant, incomprehensible, strip mall, whatever the fuck he said. That's a pretty layered reference. They tell me Chubb's the only one that got your hand-me-downs. Chubb's from Happy Gilmore. He lost his hand to the alligator. I think the same alligator he took the eye from, if I'm remember that correctly. Certified Lover Boy, reference to an album, so it tells me that Kendrick's listening to other music to build his lyrics, right? I think it's pretty impressive. This is pretty damn good, man. You think the Bagon let you disrespect Pac as Drake has before disrespected Tupac, which is pretty insane. You never do that. You don't do that as a rapper. You don't shit on 1/4 of the Mount Rushmore of greatest rappers. And I'm just gonna say that he's one of my four. OVO, the other vaginal option. That's pretty creative. You telling me that that's incomprehensible? That's pretty damn creative. And if it was incomprehensible, it's probably because they told him to censor most of his lyrics. And when you censor a lot of this, you take away his message. I mean, seriously, a lot of his stuff that you have to keep the profanity in because it tells a story. This is important. What am I doing? Why am I deconstructing rap lyrics? I'm giving it a critical analysis because Matt Walsh is too fucking stupid and racist to recognize that it's valid art. Jesus, this is what people like you do to me, Matt. You cause me to deconstruct rap music like it's like I'm giving a critical analysis. Like, yes. Where are my glasses at? Oh, yes. Yes, Sweet Chin Music, and I won't pass the ox, A. Sweet Chin Music, which is a reference to Shawn Michaels, WWE wrestler, who has his famous super kick that they call Sweet Chin Music. This guy's cultured. Kendrick, in fact, that's a pretty sick reference because WWE wrestling has a massive like white population that are MAGA supporters because Vince McMahon is a Trump supporter. So the fact that he, a black person who came from a poor black neighborhood, is watching wrestling is pretty awesome. Even wrestling, which was originally designed and geared towards white hillbillies. Let's be real. That's what NASCAR is. It's the same audience that watches NASCAR. The fact that he's watching that is pretty layered. It's impressive. It tells me that this person, Kendrick, is pretty cultured and he knows a lot about the world. He's experienced a lot of culture, not just his own. All right.
Painful, almost as if they're sort of a form of ritual humiliation. And that said, through all of this, at least the NFL had the decency to ensure that the performers could still speak the English language, at least in a nominal sense.
Yikes.
That was a very low bar, admittedly.
How many languages do you think Matt Walsh speaks? Probably one. And I'm not saying I speak multiple. I understand a little Spanish and I can read and write some of it. I can have a conversation, basic conversation, okay? But I don't think it's a bad thing that someone isn't proficient in the English language, especially when it's their second language, right? I don't think it's bad at all. If he can speak English, even if it's a little broken, by the way, I've never heard Bad Bunny speak English. I don't know if he can. Well, actually, I've seen him in movies. I know he can speak. I know it's. I mean, I can hear it and understand it. I think again. I think we're when you're nitpicking, we're splitting hairs here. This is him just being racist. Matt is racist. I don't have a problem with someone who has an accent when they speak the English language because it's not their first language. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's great that you want to learn my language. I think it's amazing. Like we should open our minds and our hearts to people, not be this weird racist bigot. Oh, you can't speak my language. You're gross. You're a Mexican. Like, what the fuck, dude? Puerto Rican, I know, but
The NFL executives were able to clear it. Even though you couldn't understand what the performers were saying half the time, at least in the abstract, they were technically reciting lyrics that have meaning in the English language. At least superficially, the NFL was still pretending to be an American league, even if they, are increasingly hosting games overseas. But that now has changed, as you may.
What's wrong with hosting games overseas? What is this? This guy he's not just racist. He hates everyone that's not American. He hates everyone and everything that's not American. I don't have a problem with the NFL hosting games overseas. I think it's cool. Why not? If you're living in the UK and you want to see an NFL game, shit, you have an opportunity. It's more money for the league, and then you're expanding the brand. You call yourselves. Let me break this down. You call yourselves the National Football League, right? But you're really only operating in one nation. So why not branch out a little bit? Call yourselves the International Football League. Now you starting to have a footprint in other areas. You bring a sport to people that aren't necessarily familiar with it or don't always have access to it. I think that's a great thing. But he hates that. He hates cross-cultural collaboration. He despises it. Matt is the poster child for the Third Reich. He absolutely loves the isolationism and banning other cultures and keeping everything American. That's exactly what the people like him love, because they're hateful and they're racist. And I genuinely think deep down that he's evil.
Have seen the NFL has just announced that Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, better known by his stage name Bad Bunny, will headline the 2026 Super Bowl.
In case you didn't know, he's Puerto Rican. Matt Walsh had to Spell the whole name out, like conservatives do when they were saying Barack Hussein Obama. In case you didn't know, Barack Hussein Saddam. Oh my God, that's exactly what he's doing here. When you have a guy like a racist white guy like Matt spell out the full name of someone, of Puerto Rican descent or Mexican, whatever they are, right? It's a dog whistle. It's a way for them to identify, hey, look at this foreigner, look at this non-white person, blah blah. Like when they say AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Look, I'm not even an AOC fan. I think she's pathetic and a poor excuse for a Democrat. And one of the reasons why the Democrats are struggling right now to win elections, she's not an old school Democrat. Okay, she's too far left. However, when you got people like Matt Walsh or people like Ben Shapiro, they call it Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. When they spell it out, they do that to get their army of white followers and their army of incel Nazi subscribers to get angry. Oh my God, that sounds like a foreign name. They're not American. They're not white like me. Oh, so gross.
Well, halftime show, and here's the NFL's big reveal. Watch.
Se acostó temprano, mañana hay que estudiar.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
Pero llamó a la amiga diciendo pa' janguear.
It's not the first time they had a non-white perform Puerto Rican or somebody of Hispanic descent perform the Super Bowl. They had Enrique Iglesias years ago perform. They had didn't they have Jennifer Lopez? Okay, that's one. Jennifer Lopez, Shakira. Oh my God, they had Shakira. Wow, that's not the first time they've had somebody, a massive star, a massive Latin star perform. Okay. And by the way, Bad Bunny's huge. He's global. He's in movies now. He's not just a musician. He's in movies. It makes sense to take one of the world's biggest stars and put them on the world's biggest musical or like entertainment stage possible. And right now, the Super Bowl halftime show is one of the biggest stages for a musical performer to play on. Okay, I mean, holy shit, dude. I don't understand. Where's the outrage when this happened? Look, Kid Rock performed with them. Weird, but why not? Shania Twain, no doubt. Aerosmith, NSYNC, a boy band. Enrique Iglesias, Christina Aguilera, Phil Collins. What a wild Tony Braxton. What a combination of people, right? Soul, salsa, and swing. Where was the outrage here? Where was the outrage? When Boyz II Men, Smokey Robinson, Martha Reeves, The Temptations, Queen Latifah. Where was the racist outrage here? Oh my God, they're replacing white people. Right after they just had Blues Brothers and ZZ Top. Oh, they had James Brown, which is kind of cool too. Where is the outrage then? We've been doing this for a long time. America has, for forever, since I can remember, has been bringing a multiple like diverse artists together to perform and create art. That's nothing new for the NFL. Gloria Estefan, right? Cool, right? Dorothy Hamill, why not? A figure skater. Okay. Oh, maybe they had like a whole figure skater. That's kind of crazy. Oh yeah, they had got it. They were still in the Olympics. Michael Jackson. That was massive. It's huge. Chubby Checker and the Rockettes. This is old school, dude. Wow. Cool. Where was the outrage then? George Burns, Mickey Rooney. What a weird halftime show. That's kind of strange, actually. I don't know what this is. Okay. Okay then. Before we had artists, we had like all these weird we had schools performing. Got it. That's because it's old school stuff. Okay. It seems like for a long time we've had non-white artists perform the Super Bowl. I don't understand the problem. You're telling me that's a problem? You look at this lineup and you're mad at Bad Bunny? Look at this. This is great. What's wrong with that? Nothing. What the Super Bowl halftime show does, and has done for a long time, is showcase America, and not just America, but the world's biggest musical scenes. This is a huge example. Saluting to Motown's 40th anniversary. That's huge. That's massive. So it would make sense for Bad Bunny, one of the world's biggest stars right now, to perform there.
Well, there it is. It's official. Puerto Rico's finest, Bad Bunny, will be the Apple Music Super Bowl 60 halftime show in February on NBC and Peacock.
Cool. So there's the whole Puerto Rican Humpty Dumpty aesthetic going on. He's not saying anything because he can't speak English. None of his songs are in English either. And then the reporter in English tells us that we should be excited by this development. We should be thrilled to hear songs like this one, apparently.
This isn't. Well, how about you play the actual song? Like, play the actual song from like the album. Don't take one live performance out of context and show us that. Show the actual song. Well, I'm curious here. NFL viewership demographic. Who's watching the NFL games? Because so far I just think it's like old white guys like my dad. 47% are female, 60% subscribe to traditional multi-channel TV services. Ethnic, Hispanic, and Black people play a significant role in NFL's fandom growth. Wow. So it makes sense that they have Kendrick Lamar play or Bad Bunny play because they are a huge role in the NFL's continued growth of the fandom. It's massive. It's not just white people. Why does he think that it's only white people watching football? It's really not, actually. Have you seen the games? Have you seen the crowd, the fans? Everyone likes it. It's not just white people. Oh my god, dude. He doesn't even look, Matt, like Steven Crowder, they don't live in reality. They don't live in the same reality that we live in. They don't look up facts. They don't look at demographics. They don't look at the numbers. They just look and go, oh my god, it's a Puerto Rican. They can't even speak English. They're attacking American values. Give me a fucking break, Matt. By the way, what I see as a performer and behind him are a plethora of instruments, like classical instruments. I think that's really cool. Why does Matt Walsh hate music? What the fuck's wrong with him?
There are like, chain restaurants there are Applebee's bars with more talented musicians than this. But
I'm just going to go on the record here and say this. Applebee's doesn't play live music. They have music playing through the speakers like Chili's, like TGI Fridays. Okay. But typically Applebee's and TGI Fridays and Chili's, they play current top 40 hits, so it's not unreasonable to assume that they might play a Bad Bunny song once in a while. You can't even live in reality, Matt, when you make a stupid analogy like that. Wow. You have to be, Matt, you have to be the most hateful and racist motherfucker on the planet to go, well, Applebee's has better talent than that. Applebee's is playing top 40 hits, most of which include non-white artists. So congratulations, Matt. You don't even know anything about a basic restaurant chain, and you don't know anything about basic pop culture in the United States. And you call yourself American, by the way.
We're told that we're supposed to be impressed by Antonio, which is why he's constantly on SNL, streaming services, the Super Bowl, all over the place.
Pretty good actor now.
Being promoted relentlessly because he represents demographic
replacement. That one Bullet Train movie, and he's in that new movie. What's that movie with Austin Butler? Hold on. Austin Butler. Okay, Bad Bunny movie, not Conquer movie. Caught Stealing. That looks like a cool trailer. Like, I like movies. I'm not some fucking weirdo who hates everything like Matt is. Here's the problem I have with Matt. He is an incel. Now, he may have 6 kids and a wife, but I think they're just a beard. Okay, they don't have kids to create family. They have kids to make themselves look better and to push their agendas. So that's why I think it's a beard. I can recognize that Bad Bunny is a good performer and very popular, and he's a pretty decent actor. He's in movies now. Shit, that's not easy to do. I think the problem is this guy's got money. He's a millionaire, right? Matt's a millionaire. He makes a lot of money from Daily Wire. He's popular. 3 million subscribers. He's monetized on his channel. Last time I checked. It's not enough for him. He's still miserable. He still hates everyone else around him. He'll never be as talented as a Bad Bunny. He'll never be in mainstream Hollywood movies. He'll never cross over because all he does is spend his days wallowing in self-pity and bigoted racist thoughts and hate. He will never grow. He will never be part of the fold. He will never do that because he hates everything and everyone around him. And I'm telling you, when you live in that kind of mindset, you will always be alone. It doesn't matter how many kids you have, Matt, or what your wife looks like. It doesn't matter. You will always be miserable and alone. because you perpetuate this type of toxic reality.
Placement. You're not supposed to say that, but that's true. They want to send the message that America is not for English-speaking Americans anymore.
It's not. It never really has been. America has always been a country of immigrants. My people came from Ireland and Italy. Okay, my Irish people came from Ireland as a response to the potato famine. I did trace my roots back. They came after that. And also my Italian people came from Italy for a better life. Okay, America has always been a beacon of hope and dreams and good things, right? That's always been what America is about. It's always been a melting pot of immigrants. We are all immigrants. Even people who as racist as you can probably trace some of your roots back to people that came from other countries. Unless you've always been here, but that's not the case. History proves that. Nobody's replacing us. Okay, we've always been a diverse country.
And it's not hard to identify who specifically is making this decision. The NFL has the ultimate veto power, but from what I could tell, Jay-Z is the primary decision maker behind all the selections for Super Bowl halftime shows. His company, Rock Nation, has had an exclusive deal with the NFL since 2019, which just so happens to be the last year that any white people were allowed to appear on the stage. Also in 2019, Rock Nation and the NFL announced a commitment to an Inspire Change social activism campaign, which explicitly advocates for letting criminals out on the street before trial. And I'm not making that up, by the way. Look at the fourth bullet point here. This is from the NFL's website. Quote, criminal justice reform, providing transition support for the formerly incarcerated and advocating for key reforms to the criminal legal system, including pre-trial detention. All right, let me paint a picture. It's Tuesday morning. You reach your supplements and vitamins, and you get an...
Hold on, he's plugging a product. I want to see what this is about. Open to all teams and players. Social justice work at the league encompasses investing in heavy in organizations program. I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think it's great to have education for people who don't really have options for that, who come from rough areas. I think it's a great thing. This guy is racist. He is 100%. I wish he would just say that he is. I wish he would go on a show and just admit that he is, because how could you call yourself a good person? How could you call yourself American when you don't believe in American ideals? Americans believe in education, economic advancement, and growth for people especially who are disadvantaged. That's literally what America has been founded on. America is a country of immigrants. We are all from different parts of the world. We all came here. Our families all came here for better lives. I think it's great to create changes in policing through law enforcement, community calibration. I think it's great to strengthen the trust between law enforcement and their communities. Criminal justice reform, provide transition support for family incarcerated. So when someone's incarcerated and then they do their sentence and they're ready to leave, you think it's a bad thing to help them transition back to society? You're the same type of person that votes on cutting veteran transition programs. I think if people are incarcerated and they do their time and they're ready to get back into society, if they've proven it, then give them a chance and help them transition. Because prison changes you, the military changes you, so give them a chance to transition back into society. People deserve that, especially if they went to jail, did their time, and became better people. But Matt doesn't want that. Matt wants every black person to be in jail. He wants all of them to be in jail and never have a chance again. That's true racism. Matt doesn't want reform. He doesn't want change. He wants to continue to support an oppressive and systemically racist structure.
Providing transition support for the formerly incarcerated and advocating for key reforms to the criminal legal system, including pre-trial detention. All right, let me paint a picture. Every month, clockwork, no...
Hold on a second. I want to look at this. I want to look at this dumbass plug. Element of nature. Element of nature. What is it? Oh, it's supplement. Got it. Why do these guys all do that? What is this? Look, I take supplements, but I'm. Why do these guys do that, dude? Why do they all plug supplements? I mean, there's nothing wrong with this stuff. It's not bad for you. I'm just saying. I think it's kind of funny that they all do that. They all plug supplements and pills and fiber. And not that I'm saying it's bad. You should take stuff that help you enhance your health and growth as a human. I'm just saying I think it's kind of funny that they all do that. All right, let's get past this. Let's go back to this.
They want criminals to spend as little time in prison as possible. They also want...
That's not what they want. That's not what this says. Providing transition support for the formerly incarcerated and advocating for key reforms in criminal legal system, including pre-trial detention. We just want the system to be a little bit more fair and balanced, and then when they're getting out of jail, give them a program that they can use to transition back into society, job training, job placement, access to healthcare, housing. These are all good things. These are what things that make people contribute and help people not reoffend. He doesn't want that though. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in helping the unhoused. They don't believe in helping minorities. They don't believe in anything but furthering their own agendas.
Now, translation, they want criminals to spend as little time in prison as possible.
No.
They also want to reform policing, meaning they want to get rid of it.
That's not what that means. Oh my God, dude! I swear to God, if you watch Matt Walsh seriously, you might be a dumb piece of shit for real. I mean, I'm serious. You cannot sit here and watch Matt Walsh and genuinely think that he has good ideas. Reforming policing is not the same thing as getting rid of it, because by definition, okay, define reform. Make changes in something, typically a social, political, or economic institution or practice, in order to improve it. An opportunity to reform and restructure an antiquated schooling model. It doesn't mean getting rid of schooling. It doesn't mean getting rid of policing. It means changing it, making it better, making it more sustainable, making it more friendly to the community. There's no way people watch him seriously. Please tell me that's not true. Please, God, as I'm an atheist praying, please, God, tell me that nobody watches Matt Walsh seriously. Holy shit, this guy's fucking stupid.
The people who wrote these bullet points are the same people who picked Antonio for the halftime show. So it's a
Antonio. Like, he has to call him by his full name. Just call him Bad Bunny, dude. Jesus Christ.
political.
I know you hate Puerto Ricans, bro. I know Trump hates Puerto Rico. And I know MAGA hates Puerto Rico, and I have proof of that. Trump rally Puerto Rico floating garbage. Didn't they say that? A comedian called Puerto Rico floating island of garbage. This douchebag from Kill Tony. I can't believe anyone thinks he's funny. I can't believe anybody watches his dumb content anyway. I'm serious, man. I'm taking shots at everybody right now. I'm not surprised though. Like, this is what Trump's community is. They hate foreigners. They hate anybody that's not white. Of course you hate Puerto Rico. You all hate Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. By the way, it's inherently American.
Pick, period. To be clear, Antonio is not simply a foreigner who can't sing or speak English. He's also a far, far rabid.
He sounds pretty good in the songs. Yeah, I think he sings. I know there's a little auto-tune there, but I think it sounds pretty good.
Leftist who wears dresses and who, like all leftists, lacks any semblance of self-awareness or shame.
Okay, hold on a second. Steven Crowder. Matt, what does this mean? What do you think this is? I'm using Crowder as an example because he actually has a much larger audience than you. He's bigger than you. He's been doing this for a long time. What do you think this is? What do you think when Crowder's on the show and he dresses up in drag? Hold on, I'm trying to find examples of him doing it. Okay. Oh, here we go. What do you think this is, Matt? What do you think this is? You're mad at Bad Bunny for dressing up in drag, which I don't. Who cares? I think it's. I mean, I don't really care. By the way, that's what they do in Hollywood. They dress you up in funky outfits, like, for fashion, and they take pictures of you. That's kind of what they do. At this point, like, who gives a shit? It's kind of funny. Hell, I'll tell you right now, hand to God, I would do that shit. That's fucking sick. I love fashion. I would do that in a heartbeat. If it's for a good cause or it's for a fashion company, why not? Who cares? It's fun. Have fun, dude. Life's not that serious. But again, if you're mad at that, what about this? What about when Crowder did this? How can I take you seriously when your people do it?
Shame. It's actually pretty staggering in this case. Just a few days ago,
this isn't even a gotcha, dude. Who cares?
Antonio issued a very clear promise that he wouldn't perform in the United States anymore, supposedly in order to protect his fans from being deported during his shows.
Yes. So, of course, he doesn't want to perform in the U.S. because a lot of the people that listen to him, and this is not talking about their citizenship or not, if they go to a show in the U.S., there might be an ICE raid there. In fact, Kristi Noem is literally promising ICE presence at the Super Bowl, at the fucking Super Bowl. So, of course, I'm not I'm not upset at Bad Bunny for not wanting to perform here. If he goes there, you damn well know there will be ICE outside waiting to grab people, and they don't care if they're citizens or not. They don't believe in due process. Okay, they're damn near the Gestapo, the modern day Gestapo.
He said he's willing to sacrifice millions of dollars in revenue solely to protect criminals from getting rounded up and shipped overseas during his concerts. But now that the NFL called and they backed up a dump truck full of pesos, suddenly Antonio's on board.
Dude, this guy's so fucking racist. It's not even funny. I'm just telling you right now, Matt Walsh, all of your followers, big, small, whatever, whether you guys are just regular subscribers or you have audiences yourselves, you're all racist if you believe in him. If you believe this guy, if you watch his content, you're all racist, and I have no problem using my fucking face and my name to call you out. You're all racist. All of you. And my guess is the NFL will have some protections in place to ensure that people that go to their games aren't going to get harassed by ICE. I'm hoping local law enforcement works with the NFL and creates a barrier between ICE. Because my guess is local law enforcement won't want that to happen, as they're trying to protect and make sure people are safe attending the game. So I'm hoping local law enforcement, maybe other jurisdictions get involved. Just do what you can to ensure that ICE doesn't harass people who are trying to watch a fucking game.
Suddenly the fans don't matter anymore.
The fans do matter. 100%. There's nothing wrong with Bad Bunny performing at a Super Bowl. And even if money is an incentive, power to him. But my guess is the NFL is going to have a lot of protection in places. It's different when he has a concert and he has to come up with, working with local security and law enforcement. But if the NFL's doing it, you best well know it will be way more protected than his own concert. I guarantee you it will be. There's a world of difference between an artist contracting a stadium or a concert hall and having their team work with local law enforcement and security versus the fucking NFL, $1 billion entity. I'm telling you right now, the NFL will make sure it's safe. I'm hoping they do. Because fuck ICE and fuck Kristi Noem and fuck you, Matt Walsh. Fuck you.
Performing at Levi's Stadium in California next year. 100%. And even though the state is teeming with illegal aliens who could be deported at the game. This is from ABC News. Quote, Puerto Rican musician Bad Bunny said in an interview that he did not include the United States in the 2025-2026 concert tour because of fear that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement would raid the concert venue. People from the U.S. could come here.
ICE will do that. ICE has already raided schools and parks and apartment buildings. They will raid anything. But my guess is they're going to have a tough time raiding the NFL stadium. They're probably going to have a tough time doing that because the NFL is $1 billion industry that will invest heavily in security, and they're going to ensure that the Department of Homeland Security, right, because that's where the ICE is, they're going to ensure that ICE doesn't interfere in any way with their business. Otherwise, I'm telling you right now, massive lawsuits against the federal government. If you think ICE is going to have free reign to do whatever they fucking want at the Super Bowl, you got another thing coming. The NFL will not risk $1 billion venture being interrupted by the fucking Gestapo. They will not. In this case, I'm actually hoping that the NFL's greed and financial incentive outweighs the government. I'm hoping it does, and I think it will.
To see the show.
Like I said, there's a world of difference between Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl versus his own concert where his people plan and his team's coordinating with law enforcement. He's got the NFL backing him. This is huge.
Latinos and Puerto Ricans of the United States could also travel here or to any part of the.
You think the commissioner of the NFL wants ICE to be raiding the fucking game? Are you kidding me? You think everybody in NFL management and leadership wants that to happen? Fuck no, they don't want that to happen. They're going to do everything they can to create a big fucking barrier, and whether it's through their legal team or helping local law enforcement working with the FBI, whatever, they're going to make sure nobody fucks with this concert.
The world, he told the magazine, but there was the issue that ICE could be outside of my concert venue, and it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about. The musician has previously been critical of ICE operations, which have intensified under U.S. President Donald Trump. He posted an Instagram video in June in which he expressed outrage at federal agents in Puerto Rico for not leaving these people working here alone.
Of course not. Yeah, I know.
Well, you know what this means. ICE has the opportunity to conduct by far the single most effective, not to mention hilarious operation in all of ICE history. This has the potential to be even better than deporting Abrego Garcia to a random country in Africa that doesn't even exist. If you've seen the movie Trap, or if you've seen the previews anyway, by M. Night Shyamalan, then you know exactly how this could work. Except instead of trying to find one serial killer after they seal off the stadium once the musical number starts, they could just deport everyone in attendance. Now, to be fair, everyone has fair warning from Antonio himself, and
All right. I, Scott Scully, am formally challenging Matt Walsh to a debate on his show. Okay, you guys can moderate it. We're going to talk about this scenario, this specific scenario, okay? You think it's okay and hilarious for ICE to conduct a trap-style raid where they lock down the stadium and they deport everyone there. U.S. citizens, families, children, people who paid a lot of money to go see a game, have an experience with their family and friends. You think it's okay for ICE to essentially pull a Nazi-style raid in the vein of the movie Trap and trap everyone there, deport Bad Bunny, who is American, by the way. He's Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican is part of America. He's American. And B, deport everyone there. You think that's okay. You're okay with that. You think it's funny to cause suffering on such a mass scale. A, that's not legal. B, if that unfolds, I'm telling you, every single one of those ICE agents will be on trial in the next decade. But like, how you okay, Matt? I will debate you. We will talk about this topic, this specific scenario. I want to know why you think it's okay and funny for ICE to essentially cordon everyone off in the stadium and then debate deport every single one of them. You think it's okay? You are a sick and depraved individual. You have no soul, and you are a massive coward. Because I know you'll never debate me. You'll never debate anyone worth their salt in anything. You just won't. You're too busy hiding on your own fucking program anyway. But you are a monster for saying that you want this to happen. You are evil, truly evil. I mean it. How evil do you have to be to say that it's funny for ICE to have to deport everyone there, to trap people inside the arena during the Super Bowl? What the fuck is wrong with you? You are a sick and depraved individual. Absolutely. Full stop, dude.
they showed up anyway, so they don't get to play the victim.
Yes, you do get to play the victim when you buy tickets to a Super Bowl game, and then you go there and you get deported or you get trapped by ICE. You do get to play the victim. We're talking thousands of $100 million lawsuits against the government. Yes, you do get to play the victim when you are a purchaser of a Super Bowl ticket and then you get deported. Because his assumption is that, well, no, it's not even his assumption. He knows that like people there are citizens that bought tickets and they're trying to hang out with their friends and family. So he's okay with that. He's okay with people getting deported because he hates Bad Bunny, because he hates Puerto Rican so much. Meanwhile, Puerto Rico is part of America, right? It's our territory. Oh shit, let's go back. Sorry.
After they seal off the stadium once the musical number starts, they could just deport everyone in attendance.
Everyone?
Now, to be fair,
everyone. So you're counting on everybody being there, not being an American citizen? Even if they weren't citizens, it's wrong to do that because people paid for tickets to enjoy with their friends and family, and now you're saying that it's okay to trap them there and deport them inhumanely without due process. You guys don't believe in the rule of law? I think you guys believe in the Constitution. I think you guys believe in the amendments, and I think you guys believe in our justice system. No due process at all. Nothing. Just deport and get out to an unnamed country that doesn't exist. Are you crazy? He's crazy.
Everyone has fair warning from Antonio himself, and they showed up anyway. So
doesn't make it right.
They don't get to play the victim.
I'm telling you right now, these are lawsuits waiting to happen, and if this does happen, I hope every single one of those ICE agents gets sued till oblivion. I hope the entire department gets shut down. I'm praying on that, because these are not only illegal, but they're violations of human rights.
Well, all we know, maybe that's why Antonio signed on to this gig. It's entirely possible that he's working with DHS as a double agent at this point. Certainly, if I were an illegal alien in California, and I heard a man in a dress using the name Bad Bunny tell me that I'll be deported at one of his shows, only to see him change his mind a few days later and tell me to attend one of his shows, I mean, I'd be a little suspicious. Either he was lying before or he's lying now. And neither option is reassuring. Now, what would be reassuring for the millions of actual Americans who still follow the NFL would be for the league to demonstrate just once that it understands or even likes its own fan base. For the better part of a decade, particularly with the social justice BLM messaging and the halftime shows,
because he hates he hates BLM because he hates black people. Okay, he hates social justice because he hates people that are non-white. He thinks it's okay to have everyone in the stadium trapped by law enforcement and then deported. Everyone, just because they showed up to see the game. By the way, people buy tickets to the game not to watch a halftime show. Everyone that buys a ticket, everyone goes to see the actual fucking sporting event. The halftime show is extra. In fact, I always turn the halftime show off. I don't care. It's not my thing. I want to watch if I do watch the game, as in the past I have, because I'm a huge Patriots fan. Okay, in the past when I've watched the game, I don't watch a halftime show. I get up and do something else, play a game, turn it off, and then when it gets back on, I turn the game back on. Okay, everyone that watches the Super Bowl, for the most part, they do it to watch the game. So this scenario where he's like, well, they had warning, they did this themselves. They can't play victim. Yes, you can play victim when you buy a ticket to a sporting event, and then DH or ICE traps you and deports you without due process. Yes, you 100%. That's literally the definition of fascism. You piece of absolute dog shit, Matt Walsh. And I'm saying this to you directly through this goddamn camera. Debate me, you coward.
The league has made it clear that it holds most of the country in contempt solely on the basis of their nationality, their skin color, and also their assumed political views. Now, in various conservative circles, as a result, there have been calls to boycott the NFL, just like we boycotted companies like Target and Bud Light. I have not joined those calls because, by and large, as I've argued often, sports are one of the few mainstream ways that Americans can express and celebrate important virtues like meritocracy, masculinity, competition, and sports are an important part of culture. You know, that's going. Every culture in history has had sports.
Is he gonna draw the conclusion that music and art or Bad Bunny is taking away from masculinity? Like, who gives a shit? The halftime show is not about the game. It's about music. It's about art. It's a spectacle, right? It's bread and circuses. You think these guys, these conservatives who are all about control and distractions would like bread and circuses, but this is literally what this is bread and circuses. Who cares?
It's important, just like art is an important part of culture. And despite the best efforts of the league executives, that remains the case. Professional football, in my view, is an important cultural institution in this country. So our focus, therefore, should be eradicating the left-wing propaganda and anti-white messaging that the league continues to promulgate, as we've eradicated it from so many other cultural institutions in recent years. The backlash to this upcoming halftime show makes it very clear that we're making progress in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And now that backlash must intensify until finally an actual American who speaks English performs at the Super Bowl.
He is American. He is American. Okay. American isn't white, right? American means like you have citizenship here and you live here or you were able to work here. Or you're from a U.S. territory. He's American, okay? He doesn't have to speak perfect English. Like, I don't understand this criteria. You're okay with trapping Super Bowl attendees, and it's not a joke. It's not a joke, Matt. It's what you want. You genuinely think in your head that it's okay to trap fans at a game and deport every single one of them because a performer that you don't like is performing there. You have to be the biggest snowflake and pussy on the planet, Matt. Unreal. If you look up the dictionary definition of snowflake, they see your picture. And if you look up the dictionary definition of pussy, it's just another one of your pictures. Literally. Next to Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder, obviously. Fuck me, dude. You are a joke, Matt. This is unreal. Like, every time he drops a video, I'm like, I think I'm ready for the most racist and bigoted take, but then I watch it, and I'm like, holy shit. He literally just described trapping the attendees of the Super Bowl, like the movie Trap. so you can A, get Bad Bunny, and then B, deport everyone there because they're there and a Puerto Rican happens to be performing? Seriously? Holy shit. Anyway, thank you for watching. Fuck Matt Walsh and this clown. I have commented on a couple of videos and I've invited him to debate me. He can moderate it. His team can moderate it. We're going to do it over a Zoom call. Let's see if he's man enough to do it. My guess he's not. He's not man enough to do it. He's a pussy. But hey, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt as much as I can. But like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. All right.